So I've been meaning to do a vlog for years, and I think the reason I haven't yet is because all of the vloggers I follow seem like the kids sitting at the cool table in the lunchroom. You really want to be friends with them, but they all seem to know each other, and they have so many people who want to talk to them, and why would they ever notice you and that you want to talk to them, that you think that they're awesome and you might be kind of cool too? Actually, no, I'm a huge nerd, and I don't do small talk very well. Is that a reflection of my screen in my glasses? I am so sorry. This is... Why does everyone have better webcams than me? Hi, I'm Kayla. I'm 24. I'm not terribly interesting, and this is going to be my most awkward vlog. I apparently, when you first start out, you have no idea what you're doing, and it's awkward, and you look like a total nerd, and eventually the more you do it, the more comfortable you get with talking to the reflection of yourself and knowing other people are going to see it. Some people seem like they've written scripts about what they're going to talk about. Since my first one, I'm trying to just stumble through until the end, and I can throw it on YouTube and then wallow in shame under my blankets and not come out for 3 days. So, I thought for a long time about, well, what am I going to make my first video about? Because videos, should I just be like, hey, look, it's me, and start talking about stuff and act like everyone should know me? And to me, that's weird. Because if you're going to watch this, I feel like you should kind of know what you're getting into. And some of what you're getting into may be further down the road, and it's not all going to be here. So I feel like introductions are necessary. You know, kind of like, you know, you meet a guy, or you meet, you know, kind of like, you know, you meet a person and you're like, hey, this person, I'm going to wait it out and see. And, you know, they seem like a cool person and they're great, and then you find out 6 months down the road they're an axe murderer. Oh wait, you have to gradually get to know people. Okay, that doesn't work with vlogs. So I used to be a theater major, which should mean that I do very well on stage, performing, that I'm fine in front of a camera, I can talk about myself all day. First of all, I quit being a theater major because the theater department, the entire theater major, felt like this really weird cult. It started out neat, like, hey, I'm learning to be master electrician, and then it was, okay, now we need to focus our chakras. Probably the moment I decided to run away screaming from the theater department was I was working crew for wet tech, dry tech. I never understood which. I think it was wet tech, which sounds a little dirty, but it's apparently a legitimate theater term. So, honestly, that's how most of the theater goes, honestly. Everybody there just gets really bored and just makes an innuendo out of everything. And there's this, and I'm working wet tech, and my job is to raise and lift the curtains. Okay, I'm 5'2", and yeah, that wasn't gonna work. And this girl is waiting to go on in the next scene, and she's a junior, senior, she's been around for a while. Like, she knows the department, she knows what she's doing, she's in every show, and she's standing there and she's going, okay, there's that fourth chakra, come on, yeah, alright, we got it. And I was like, these people are going to kill me. So I ran away, and I became an English teaching major. And, oh wait, no, that's not the point of this story. Okay, I'm an English major, end of story. But yeah, so I ran away from the theater department, and I wasn't even in acting. I was never interested in acting. Like, I did some acting. I played an old Scottish woman in a play about that plane that crashed in Scotland, and the Scottish woman washed all the clothes and sent them back. And that was fun, except the director and I did not get along at all. And I had to learn a Scottish accent in the space of a week, and I have a lot of Scottish ancestry. I consider myself ethnically Scottish, but none of my living family or family from the past generations that are now gone are actually from Scotland. They were all born here in the US. So what I did was watch hours upon hours of Billy Connolly stand-up and just repeat every word that he said. But no, I did some playwriting, which is what actually got me my scholarship, so I could go to my first few years of school And that segues into what I actually do right now is I work in a spaghetti shop, a little fast food spaghetti shop, like a precursor to Fazoli's and not as fancy, and there's only so I work in a spaghetti shop and I'm an aspiring writer. Woo! No, actually, I'm pretty good. I'm lazy is the problem. I do National Novel Writing Month, and the last 3 years have just been kind of like, nope, table flip. So, yeah, I'm a lazy writer. I work in a spaghetti shop, and I'm an aspiring writer. You can still see the screen in my... No, I just look asleep. Okay, sorry, you're gonna have to deal with that. Maybe one day I'll get a better webcam. When I'm not poor. So I've been meaning for years to do a vlog. Don't do small talk very well. If it's not December or early January and you approach me on the street and you want to have like a conversation written with a script written by social etiquette, I'm not going to be able to do it, because unless I can just say Merry Christmas or Happy New Year, that conversation is going to crash and burn really fast. So just don't. The vloggers, YouTube celebrities that I follow a lot, that made me think I could do this. I started out with Liam Dryden. I'll put all the links to this below. Liam is awesome. I first started watching his videos, like most people who started watching his videos, he looked like David Tennant. I'm a huge Doctor Who fan. My TARDIS bank. I got this at Gen Con last fall. I wish it was bigger on the inside, because then it would have more money in it. So I started watching Liam's videos because he looked like David Tennant, who plays the 10th Doctor in Doctor Who. And Liam is awesome. And then Liam was in a band. Liam's in Chameleon Circuit, which is a band that does songs about Doctor Who. I promise I will talk about things other than Doctor Who. Probably. Also in this band was Alex Day. So I started watching Alex's videos, and then that led me to Charlie McDonnell. And Charlie's just lovely. I feel like out of the three of them, I identify the most with Charlie. He just seems so incredibly awkward, and he just seems like a very accessible person. Anyhow, I bought Charlie's album when it came, or not when it came out. I bought Charlie's album last summer, and he sang a song about Haley G. Hoover. I'm like, oh, I need to look this girl up. So I started watching Haley's videos, and Haley pretty much single-handedly, with the exception of the help from one of my two really close female friends, I've only got two, sorry, made me realize that it was okay to be a girl. We'll get into that, hopefully never. And so that to me is the cool kids table. Alex Day, Liam Dryden, Charlie McDonnell, Haley G. Hoover. I cannot get enough of them. I really wish I could just pick up my little webcam laptop and go sit at their table and be like, hey guys, I love you. Have any friends who really vlog? The boyfriend keeps saying he's going to do it. He might have. Is it bad I don't know what his YouTube channel is? Anyhow, sweetie, you need to get on this, because I cannot do this alone. It's possible you might be more awkward than I am. Oh. People that I wish had a vlog that don't include no one. I figured what I do to give myself a little bit of a script so that I don't die while I'm recording is go ahead and do Alex Day's YouTube first survey that he posted in November. Just seems like a good introduction video, and it'll be fun. Question number 1. Why are you called that? Okay, my first name is Kayla. My mother gave me this name because it was her favorite character from her favorite soap opera. That's right, I'm named after Kayla from Days of Our Lives. Middle name is Rose. That's after my grand aunt Rose, my dad's aunt. She was pretty cool. She was a school teacher. She was married to my Uncle Kenny. who is still actually alive. He was born in 1915, and he's still kicking it. He turned 98 this year. For 98, he's not doing bad. She passed away, I think 3 or 4 years ago. She had Alzheimer's. So, unfortunately, my memories of her before the Alzheimer's set in are very, very few and really fuzzy. It makes me sad that most of my memory of her is of after the Alzheimer's started affecting her. Because apparently, woman was hysterical. My dad tells a story actually about when I was born, and he and my mom took me to Aunt Rose and Uncle Kenny's house, telling Aunt Rose, her middle name's, Kayla's middle name is Rose. And her reaction to this was, oh, that's a really nice name. Yeah, I like that. And Dad says, she's named after you, Aunt Rose. And she says, well, guess I better straighten up my act. So, my name is Kayla Rose. I sign Kayla Rose on everything. I would like for people to call me Kayla Rose. That's actually what I told Will Wheaton my name was when I met him at Gen Con and he signed my book. Happiest day of my life! Which, that's actually an embarrassing story in and of itself that I will tell another day. As for my username, Queen of Spades, I started out kind of, that's the name of my blog, and that's kind of the username I use for everything that I can. I just ran to the bookcase and back, so I'm kind of out of breath. I'm fat. Anyhow, Queen of Spades is kind of the username I use for everything. It started out with cool looking card in a standard deck of cards. I taught myself how to play hearts when I was 9, and well, maybe I can make it sort of symbolic and hey, take me as I am without any context, and I look like a bad thing happening, like a train wreck about to happen, 13 points, woo! But if you take in all the context or everything about me, all the hearts and stuff, then you shoot the moon, and so that was the idea at first, and then I was like, well, what if I just Google Queen of Spades? And it turns out that in tarot, I guess the Queen of Spades represents like an intelligent literary woman. So that's kind of me. I keep belching. I'm fairly intelligent, but I still accidentally But I do like to read, so that kind of makes me literary. I read and I write. I'm fairly literate, I'd like to think. So that was the afterthought, and I just kind of tried to pretend that was the idea the whole time. As for having 3s instead of E's in Queen, Queen of Spades with 2 E's was already taken, so I decided to buckle and use 3s. I know. Leet isn't cool anymore. 2. Tell us about your favorite school teacher. I hated school. I really did. I like to learn. I like to read. School wasn't fun. My favorite school teacher, probably to this day, is still Mrs. Mazer at an elementary school that I went to in Nashville, Tennessee, 3rd grade. My parents had been divorced for 2 years or something, so it was me and my 2 sisters living with my dad. I'm the oldest, and I was a voracious reader, and I remember I was reading nothing but Goosebumps books by R.L. Stine, and I guess she just got tired of it or something, or I'm not quite sure. I think it might have tipped her off when I started bringing Shakespeare to class and asking if we could read that during free time instead of the weird Dear America books that actually I thought were actual diaries for a while, until I figured out they were in the fiction section of the library for a reason. She told me that I needed to be reading something more at my reading level, made me get Little Women from the library. It took about a month to read it, which is longer than I take most things that aren't George R.R. Martin novels now. Then again, Little Women is about the length of Game of Thrones in the Reading Counts program, and I read Little Women, and I came back and I took the quiz, and I got 98% on it or something like that. And what she then did is she took me out to dinner, and she took me to see the play. Okay. What is the strangest food I've ever eaten? Now, honestly, I'm pretty open-minded about food. Like, I really like sushi and Japanese food, and I've had Indian food. I can tell you the grossest food I've eaten is definitely mashed cauliflower. That might have only been gross at the time, though, because I was under the impression it was mashed potatoes until it ended up in my mouth. My parents, when I was still in high school and living with them, would constantly go on dieting kicks. And I don't know if this happens for, like, every family where the parents go on a dieting kick, or if it was just ours. But every time my family decided to go on a new diet, suddenly all of us were on it. So I've been on South Beach and Atkins and God knows what else. But, you know, like, there's nothing worse than being like, yeah, mashed potatoes, awesome. Put it in your mouth and it's mashed cauliflower. I eat a lot of not strange, but not food that I'm used to with my boyfriend's family. A lot of food, like, I guess Nigerian food and Dominican food. And hopefully weirdest name for anything I've ever had, definitely fufu. Only food I've ever had in the company of my boyfriend's family that made me make a weird face. Really subpar milk candy, I think is what it was. Not repeating that experience. My first gig, I've not had a gig. Piano, I only had like 2 months of lessons in 2nd grade. I'm pretty good for someone who's been self-taught for the last... Oh, I'm old. 16 years? I played piano for 16 years. I'm 24. The guitar, I had like 3 weeks of lessons on that. I'm not very good. I can play chords. I play violin. I've not touched it in years. It's in my dad's basement somewhere. I keep trying to get it out, but it's in like this little crawl space behind all this crap in their basement, and I'm 185 pounds. I ain't crawling back there. I sing passably well, I think. The first show, I was in a musical in high school. The first one that I did was Godspell. I sang the song Turn Back, Oh Man. I sang Godspell in high school, and this was, okay, I graduated in high school in like 2007, and it was the end of my sophomore year that we did this show. The guy who played, I don't know if you've ever seen Godspell, it's the Gospel of John or Mark or one of those guys. There's 4, so just pick one, and you've got 25% chance of being right. The guy who played Jesus is now my sister's fiance. My sister got engaged. My younger sister got engaged Christmas Eve. Got 2 younger sisters, one still in college. Right, and I sang Turn Back, Oh Man, which is kind of a jazzy song, very kind of Mae West, Peggy Lee. Loved it. It actually got me really into swing and jazz, and made me realize that I can sing worthwhile music as a contralto, as an alto, and I loved that. And that was pretty much it for my performing career. Chorus of Joseph the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, and then I was going to be in Pirates of Penzance, and then my dad pulled me out because I was failing American history, because World of Warcraft was more interesting to me at the tender young age of 18. Alright, favorite place in the world. Chicago when I have money, and I enjoy Indianapolis when I don't. Alright, who do I want to answer the survey next? Well, I'm not going to tag any of the people I like on YouTube, because they've already all answered this, and they won't pay attention to me because they also do the cool kids table. Boyfriend, you have to vlog now. I've done what I can. Type of vlogs this will be. I'm into D&D. I'm really into comics and superheroes. I'm a Marvel girl, but I can tolerate some DC. Aquaman is actually pretty cool now. I really like anime. I'm not real knowledgeable about anime, but that's what I'm dating the president of the anime club at the local university for. So that's working out. I do a lot of needlecraft. I can't find it right now. But I cross stitch, and I sew, and I knit, and I crochet. I'm also trying to lose 50 pounds. Woo! When I started college, I was 135, 140 pounds. I thought I was fat then. I was kind of getting over an eating disorder that nobody would believe that I had, even though I was trying to tell them I needed help. I was dating a really awful person who had me convinced I was fat. But anyhow, I am now 185 pounds, which is completely unacceptable. I'm tired of looking like this. This is what I looked like in high school. And yeah, this is now. So I'm working on that. I'm using MyFitnessPal, and I'm doing Couch to 5K with varying levels of devotion. So I guess we're kind of, hopefully we'll see some change here. I'm probably going to talk a lot about my writing or writing thing. Like, the golden rule is just chill out. So yeah. Can I be done now, please? Also, I like Skyrim.